Hey YouTube, new video. On this one, I want to first of all welcome to 2021. new year, new disasters. If it continues like it started, it won't be good. But who cares? On this one, I wanted to try. I just got a new computer, so I wanted to make sure that everything works. And at the same time, since it's been a while, I didn't do a video. I wanted to do a kind of what's been going on and a few projects that are coming soon. So first, one of the reasons that not many videos have been coming, and since COVID started, um, the medical part's been a little bit harder. Work as well. Like especially not so much on the second wave now, but on the first wave when everybody didn't know exactly COVID, what was it, what's going on, and everything. At work, I would get almost like 2 to 3 emails of different protocols and all that to start. And one day was one protocol, the next day, whoops, something happened. Then they realized that something was changing. So if you think that things were changing for you, you can imagine when you're in the healthcare business and a new case or a new strain or something comes out, you're affected. So it was harder to make videos because of that, just the load of the information. And when I had my day off, I wanted to have off. But on the other hand, as well, was a little bit for the polarization, especially talking medical stuff. The Discord was becoming the discussions were less discussions and became more battles, and so I didn't want to get too much into that. Already had enough negative um, uh, things at work and going to markets and seeing other stuff. I didn't want to get into that, so my apologies for the content. But now that things are a little bit more settled, we're having a little bit more hopes, as well as there's a little bit less burden at work. Even that we're more like we're one of the centers that gets here on the island. We get the COVID patients, so it's which is strange because the first wave when we didn't know much, we didn't get as many, and actually our department was a little bit more quieter compared to other places. But now we're getting more cases and we're as busy and even more. So I've been working with more positive cases on a regular basis. Um, I still didn't get my vaccine. I believe it's coming in either this next week or the next week after. And so I'll let people know when I get it and how it's going. I don't know which one I'm going to get because we're kind of getting both ones over here. I presume it's going to be the Pfizer one. I'm not quite sure, so I'll keep you updated on that one. On better news, as you could see from the titles, after my live streams on the Urban Prepper, I kind of joined the Discord. I've never heard of Discord, and so I kind of joined. Initially, was his kind of channel, and now it's called the Prepper Guild, and I really like it. It's been bringing. It's an easier platform to answer questions or even to get ideas for future videos because of the fast pace, and in between if I'm doing errands or something, I can answer quick questions or something like that versus making videos and posting them and doing my research and stuff like that. Doesn't mean I won't do videos anymore. Actually, a lot of content that comes out of chatting with people give me ideas, and one of those ideas, the one I want to talk about for the rest of the video, But I'll have the link down, and please join if you're not joined already, because it's what it's been trying to do is get it bigger, so that Preppers Guild is not the urban prepper, but it's a guild of people minded. There's people from different country, different perspective, which makes it very interesting because even if we have all the same goals, obviously our environment is different, our political environment is different, policies are different. For example, with COVID, it's very interesting because we see there's some people from Europe, so we can see how it impacted them. Me from Canada, we acted differently. People from the States, obviously, it's a different perspective. So it's very interesting to interact with all different peoples and different. So please join if you didn't join, and don't hesitate. I'm there with the Mountain Naran. So if you want to pause any questions or anything, don't hesitate to ask. And on that note, actually, one of the things I wanted to do is that I'm going to be presenting a little bit more frequently over there. And one of my thing I would like to do is a case of the month kind of thing. And I'll present to the case, let people kind of discuss, see what they are, and kind of challenge yourself on do you have this gear on the equipments, and do you have the equipment. And again, I'm not an expert in that field. Nobody can pretend to be an expert in that field because unless you deal with zombies for 10,000 hours, which is usually what it takes you to be an expert, all you can do is provide a professional opinion on the matter. So based on what you can see when you did other research, things that they've done, for example, in Haiti or earthquakes in Nepal, then you can kind of presume that if it worked there, based on similar situation, that could be something that could apply, or even in my work, tweak it a little bit if it works in this environment and apply it with conditions in austere medicine, can apply. And there's the whole field of disaster medicine and combat medicine, wilderness medicine as well, that if you take a little bit of each branch and put it together, you can come out with some pretty decent conclusions, and that's where professional opinions and non-expertise comes from. So I hope that I'll be able to challenge some of those ideas and stuff and bring some content and hopefully there. So hopefully we'll see you there. Which brings me to one of the projects that I'm going to be working out of this. And I did a calendar. So if you never heard, you're probably true if you've been following my channel for quite a while. I'm a big believer in Stephen Covey. I read very early in my life his books, especially The 7 Habits, which became the 8 Habits, and his kind of approach to priorities. And it's been something that I've been applying to my life for quite a while. And so, and it worked great because I always have tons of interest. And so with this on, plus the color of prepping, and I'll put the link down of the Urban Prepper did on his video. I did a video in the past trying to do this for the first aid as well, because I find it interesting. It's very because once you start getting to prep and to have your things on, it's hard because there's so many places you can go. It's such a large forest, tsunami, earthquake, hands of civilization as we know it, civil unrest, war. So where do you start? And the color of prepping really helps you a little bit for that as well. Not only that it helps you kind of direct yourself, like, oh yeah, I need water, I need this, I need that. But also then when you put your gear in place, it's in one place, one bucket, and with the color, and then working with other people. So if I have to help other people to survive with, I can say, go grab me the blue bucket, because I know that anything I need for water is in the blue bucket. So it helps for that. So out of that, I kind of extended it and make it a little bit of bigger projects. And what I did is I made a calendar out of that. In Men Cave, I thought it was pretty appropriate, because usually when I work on those projects, I go in my main cave, despite that I don't have a cave in these days. Cave is kind of over here, always working all over the place. And what I did is that for each color, I associated a first aid color as well. So I kind of review like what would be a good color, and I kind of when the urban prepper did it, and obviously he has a larger group of people that I do following him, he did kind of a survey. For me, what I did is I took the color and I kind of associated with what would go well with. So, for example, blue, which is his color, is for water in his system. I associated with respiratory, because a lot of people know blue is when you look blue if you don't have air. So respiratory system is associated with blue. So what I would like to do is that in the future, and I'm working with someone on a project like this, is build kind of the ultimate kit for people that wants to get ready, and at different levels as well. So for example, my kit will be way more complex than somebody else that would try to survive with a little bit less medical training, but yet would still face about the same and abdominal pain that I could see. I could maybe think about more problems, but somebody that has less experience would still have to deal with the same problem. And that's one of the issue with the grid being down, is that you cannot go to the hospital to get the expertise that you need now to help yourself. So when you go to an emergency, you get the expertise to help you. But now in a situation where you're the one that relies on you, you have to build your expertise your own way and come out with conclusion that almost the expert would be. And so what I would like to do as a future project with the color prepping and this and what I'm working with this other person is that, for example, blue would be respiratory. So tools that could help you not diagnose, but have an idea of what you're dealing with. Is it asthma? Is it somebody in cardiac heart failures? Is it somebody else with respiratory issue, which would come out with a complaint of shortness of breath? I feel short of breath. So somebody comes short of breath. What is it? Is it a pneumonia? Is it something like this? And so that would be all in the blue kit. So while I'm working on the bigger project of building the big kit and all those schemes, it's still kind of interesting to come out with concepts, ideas, videos on the same idea on the subject, because you got the knowledge, you got the tools, and those two then combined, you can apply them. So at least I can work on the knowledge part as we're building our kits for tools and things like that. So what I did is, like I said, I bought like a calendar at the store there, and then each one I associated, because there's 11 color of prepping, 12 months in the year. So January is the planning part, and then each month after. So February will be yellow, and the way I've distributed color was a little bit projects that are coming. So, for example, I believe April, because his color was tools and weapons. In April, I'm looking at maybe going to do firearms training and things like that. Then I associated the color with the month based on what I'm thinking I'll be doing that month. Some other time was like just I had months left and colors left, and so I plug them where I wanted to do it. So again, stiff and covey, big rocks, smaller rocks, and medium rocks. And so that's a little bit the approach that I did. So down below, I'll have a list of all the months for me in the list of what's associated with. But the announcement a little bit that I'll do now is that February is yellow, and it's in the color prepping, communication, and navigation. For me, I'm be working on my finish my goal box. I'm working on my Raspberry Pi right now so that I can start doing digital finally after 6 years. And also I'm working on a system for field phone for an exercise that I want to do pretty soon. And so I'm building those two things, and when I'm finished, videos will be coming out. And so based on that, with yellow, I associated kidneys, because when we pee, it should be yellow, but can it always be yellow? And that will be one of the things I'll be talking about, and on the prepper guilds during the month of February. So if you have any questions or things related to kidneys, and again in a situation where like how would you manage it, what kind of things do you need to think about, consideration, all related to kidneys, you can send me a message below. But that's what I'll do in February. So on the on the prepper guilds, what I'll be doing is I'm gonna start with a case study, and I got it over here. Will be presented it, and my intention is also to create a video to this. And again, it's not to do bait access, like it's not for my numbers to get bigger and stuff like that and get my silver whatever YouTube thing. That's not my intention at all. It just, for me, it's fun. It's I'm don't even want to take any pennies or make any money out of YouTube. For me, it's a hobby. It's not I have a pretty decent job. I make my money, and I don't need money from other sources. But it's more a way of generating content and ideas. And obviously, in a video, it's much easier for me than to type everything and put everything in and do a PowerPoint presentation and stuff. And in the same time, as I prepare for those videos, it helps my preparation as well, because I'm asking myself questions. How would you do this and stuff, and it pushed me to do research. So it's a win-win situation for everyone, and I want to share it with everybody. So there'll be kind of a little bit in between. I'll be posting some stuff on the prepper guilds during February. I already started to have my ideas of what I'm going to present. And I'm going to be presenting a case study, and I'll do a video on that one, which I think will be very interesting, especially if you never heard about that concept. Even me, there was things that I thought that was been recognized, and now they don't recommend them as much as they used to. So like I said, I've learned, and it was a win-win for me. So anyway, that's the thing. That's my man cave, and I encourage you to do the same thing. To be prepared is always easier also when you do so. In February, I'll get my, during the month, I'll get my kit out, go through it, make sure that everything works, make sure that everything is there, is relevant. Finish those 2 projects, and like I said, each month sometime will be a kit purchase, some other time will be a skills that I need to get. So for example, when I was saying in April, black, which will be tools, I would like to take my hunting classes, and maybe trapping as well. I just found there's a 3-day class here on the island on if you want to be able to trap. So that would be very interesting, because this year it's going to be my focus. I started last year with gardening, but I want to focus more on food security in certain ways. So how to grow my own food if I would have to hunt or trap, how to get that food. Fishing started with the kayaking as well, so I'm getting a little bit more with that. Yeah, so I'll talk to you soon, and hopefully we'll see you on the Guild Purpose Guild.